Welcome. Listen to the audio. Read the text. Repeat the sentences out loud. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Relax and enjoy. The piano room. Ella arrived in the quiet town of Winterbridge with a suitcase and silence in her heart. She had left the city behind, her job, her tiny apartment, and the endless noise of a life that felt borrowed, not her own. 2 months ago, her mother had passed away. The grief was sharp at first. Then it became something heavier, a quiet, constant ache that lived in her chest. She found a small room to rent above a bakery. Every morning, the smell of fresh bread drifted up to her window, but she barely noticed. One rainy Thursday, Ella walked through the town square, her umbrella shaking in the wind. She didn't know where she was going. She just wanted to escape her thoughts. The library appeared like a soft glow in the grayness. It was old, with high windows and a wooden sign swinging gently in the rain. Inside, it smelled of books, polished wood, and history. She wandered between shelves, running her fingers along spines. At the end of a long hallway, she saw 2 heavy wooden doors. Curious, she pushed them open. The room beyond was dim, lit only by a single window. In the center stood a piano, silent and covered with a gray cloth. Ella stepped closer and lifted the cloth. Dust danced in the air. She pressed a single key. The sound was soft. It felt like a whisper. Not many people find this room. The voice startled her. She turned. A man stood at the door, tall, a little thin, with kind eyes and messy hair. "Sorry," he said gently. "Didn't mean to scare you." His name was Noah. He had lived in Winterbridge all his life. As a child, he came to the piano room with his grandmother, who was a music teacher. Ella told him she didn't really play. She just pressed the keys to feel something. Noah smiled. "That's how it starts." They talked for a while. His voice was calm, like the sound of rain on glass. Before leaving, he said, "I come here every Friday. You're welcome to join me." The next Friday, Ella returned. Noah was already there, sitting at the piano with a notebook open. She sat beside him. He played a simple melody. It wrapped around her like a soft blanket. "You play beautifully," she said. He shook his head. "I haven't played in years. My fingers are slow now, but maybe we can learn together." Week by week, the piano room became their world. Ella played hesitant notes. Noah listened and told her stories. About his grandmother, who taught him that music wasn't about perfection, but feeling. About his dream of being a composer when he was younger. About how he stopped playing after she passed away. Ella shared her silence too. About her mother. About the loneliness she didn't know how to name. They didn't rush. They let each other be quiet when needed. And when they spoke, it was soft honest and full of truth. One snowy afternoon, they sat beside the piano, laughing over cups of tea. Noah looked at her and said, "You remind me of the songs I never finished." Ella's cheeks grew warm. "Maybe we can finish one together," she said. The next week he brought a notebook, a song, half written. At the top, he had written, "Light in the silence," for the girl who turned quiet into music and shadows into light. They worked on it together. Each week, a few new lines. Each week, the melody grew. But something was changing. Noah was sometimes late, sometimes tired. One day, he forgot the melody they wrote just the week before. He smiled and joked, "Maybe I'm getting old." But Ella saw the sadness in his eyes. One Friday, he didn't come. And then again, on Sunday, she found a letter at the library desk. "Dear Ella, I'm sorry for disappearing. The truth is, I'm sick. I found out months ago. It's getting worse. I didn't want to bring pain into the piano room, but you made my last months feel alive again. Like music, like light in the silence. I've left something for you. In the piano." In the piano, she found Noah's notebook. The last page had been completed in his careful handwriting. At the bottom, he wrote, "Light in the silence, complete." Play this for me when the world feels heavy. Play it for yourself when you need to find the light again. And one day, teach it to someone new. That's how music lives on. Next to the notebook was a small box. Inside lay a silver locket, engraved with the words, "You are the music now." Ella placed the locket around her neck and rested her hands on the piano keys. She began to play. The room filled with music, soft, warm, and full of longing. It felt like Noah was there, in every note. Months later, a poster appeared in town. Winterbridge Library presents Light in the Silence, a night of music dedicated to Noah Hale. The night of the concert, the piano room was full. Ella sat at the piano, Noah's locket catching the golden light. She took a deep breath and began to play. The melody spoke of love, loss, and the courage to begin again. When she reached the final note, the room fell into silence, a deep, reverent silence. Then, slowly, the audience rose to their feet. After the concert, Ella stayed in the piano room alone. She placed Noah's notebook back inside the piano. "Your song will live here, Noah, and I'll keep playing it, so the world never forgets." As she turned to leave, a little boy peeked into the room. "Miss, can you teach me how to play?" Ella smiled softly. "Yes. Let's start with Light in the Silence." And as she guided his small hands to the keys, the first notes rose like morning light, a promise that music and love never truly fade. What part of the story did you like the most? Write it in the comments and practice your English with me. If this helped you, like, share, and subscribe for more stories that make learning English easy and fun. Remember, the more you listen, the more you understand. The more you speak, the more confident you feel. Thank you for watching.